This is your creation. Now learn how to make it successful. In the know, Steph and Joe will walk you through the financial performance of the media. Whether you need a custom website design or help integrating social media, news, marketing programs, Epic Media is the company you rely on for your business. Check them out at Yeah, that's just terrible. I gotta read that.
You gotta really try to work that in better, smoother.
It was horrible.
Well, one day you'll get it, Ken. I believe in you.
We should get some professionals. Anyway, today in the know is Steph.
Welcome to the show.
Of course, some shout outs to our good friends at Steph's Books, and you'll see that flash up behind you at some point. And of course, Restoration One, you'll see up there as well. You've seen them on all the shows. But from Go, Go, Go to, hey, my team's got this. Welcome in.
Right?
What a great party Steph threw on Tuesday.
You threw it too, bro. You were there. Yeah. I wore my T-shirt from. We got to give the shout outs.
Let me tell you something, brother.
And this is like you have the T-shirt on too. Yes. Although my billboard's a little smaller.
Yeah, that's right.
Mine's at home. I didn't know we were wearing the shirt.
Nobody
texted
you
me.
You can grab one off the rack and just throw it on.
Hopefully by the end of the weekend they'll be up in the store. You can buy these shirts, of course, for $15 each or 2 for $25.
That's right. Everybody needs to buy in on a shirt for 216 and support.
That's it.
The radio show.
Next Friday, Mary, when you do your show, you better come and get a shirt.
Is she back next Friday?
Right?
Mary can borrow one of my shirts. We wear the same size.
Oh.
Yeah. God love her.
Okay.
That's funny why you'd wear a woman's medium, but okay, Joe, that's fine.
Adult medium. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, she's not gonna be back next Friday.
Oh, too bad. Yeah, all right, let's give an introduction.
Hey, Tim.
Where are we at? What are we doing here today? Go to slow, right? Please. I'm going to introduce Carolyn Greenleaf. She is with Greenleaf Healing. And she's here to talk about how to transition, because we all hope to get there one day, from running your business to stepping back and letting your human beings, your employees run your business, right? So please give us your contact info and everything, so that way, right off the bat, people know how to get a hold of you.
Okay, well, my email address is carolyn@greenleafhealing.com, and my website is greenleafhealing.com.
Oh, that's very easy.
Yeah, that's kind of easy.
How'd you snag that website?
You know what? That was, 17 years ago or more maybe now? I'm like, oh my gosh.
You could sell that site for like good
money.
Some literal a mint off that website. Wow.
I'm like...
Wow, impressive.
There's so many Greenleaf Healing, blah, 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 blah. But I've got the original one.
Right. Wow. It's GL, not OG. Greenleaf. Not OG.
Original Greenleaf. OGL.
Yeah. Okay. Deal.
Oval?
Fair enough. Let's talk going through from the go to the slow. What does that mean to everybody here, right? To me, it means, I got some employees that are taking over my business. They're they're running the business. And now I'm looking back and going, well, what am I going to do? Right? I don't need to be on a job. I don't need to be doing this. That's kind of what that means to me.
Okay.
Similar? Or?
Well, this is really, kind of in a nutshell, what I do is I help business owners and entrepreneurs who get they get to a point where they're frustrated in their lives because they lack purpose, right? Because building their business has just taken over their lives, right? So
that's a good point. Does anybody have that out there? Right?
I think everybody has that out there.
Where you build it and then somebody takes over. Like you had people, Steph, where people have taken over.
But so now I've done different
things. Right?
We're going to expand possibly into taxes. So I looked into that, got my registration with my PTIN. Mm-hmm. Then we opened up the Learning Center. Mm-hmm, exactly. I'm looking to acquire other bookkeeping firms in other states. Like, it's not like I'm stopping. We're still on the grow. So I'm not done with my go-go.
Right.
Well, it's not about being done with your go-go. It's how you do it. It's doing it from a soul it's a soul-centered purpose. This is what people lose, is when they're so plugged into making everything work, that they all of a sudden they lose touch with what's really important to them, the why, the big why behind what they're doing. So they're losing, touch with their relationships. They're losing, just a lot of, time doing the things that they really love to do, because they're putting, it's just sucking the life out of them sometimes, even though you love what you do, but sometimes you just lose that balance. And so, the way I always see it is, we are programmed and trained to plug into the outer world for advice, for everything, for, the systems that we're using, for this, blah, 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 blah. And that is really taking you literally away from yourself, from your soul-centered purpose, from your internal instincts and voice that has always been there ever since the moment you were born.
Well, like today, for example, like we're about to go into our busy season, because now like fourth quarter is all tax prep and getting everybody ready. And then first quarter, it's tax season. So it's crazy. So today, my team, I gave them a paid day off. So they did whatever they did today. Good. And then
way to go.
I went on a field trip since COVID's done. So
wonderful.
That's what I did. So I took a day to kind of unplug and go, because we were caught up enough on work to be able to do that.
And today. So in Carolyn's point to what she does is, you are literally taking what matters to you in the sense of your family, your things of that nature, and you're literally taking that time going, oh, I know we're going to be busy. We're coming into the busy time. Here's a slow time. Let me just take a day off, give my employees a day off, give myself a day off, and go do something that I haven't gotten to do in a while. Right? Like, I love that.
Right. It's about, I see it as, it's about putting what's most important first. Again, it's
knowing
why,
but
why. And yes,
you got to know
this is where right here, the outer world is going to tell you, no, you got to do this, and then you got to do that, blah, 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 blah. And if you keep chasing, it's like being a squirrel, But
I do.
When you stop and come back, and you can connect to your soul-centered purpose, all of a sudden, what you value most in life and what's, starts to really become more important to you, and you really shift in a way to make sure that comes first. And then you see also, all of a sudden, it's really an energy shift. It's a way that you are conducting your business, the way that you are treating your employees and all of that. So it's definitely we have to remember, why are we here on this planet in the first place? We're not here to be miserable. We want to make a lot of money, and that is our God-given right.
We could be here to be miserable. You don't know that,
well,
right?
If that's what you want, that's what you want. But personally, that's not my goal. I think that most people want to be happy and successful.
So I am literally trying to surf through, because I saw it multiple times already, and now I can't find it. You are doing, and I want to make a shameless plug for you.
Okay.
You're doing a soul centering mastery class tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Saturday, 10 a.m.
Right? That's not too early, people.
I'm doing a webinar. No, it's only going to be for an hour, but it's called the Soul Mastery Blueprint.
It's Lily.
Yeah.
3 keys to mastering your purpose.
That's creepy. Yeah, sorry. We don't mean to but we're now reading this, and my wife said, "Hi, Daddy."
Oh.
But it is Lily, my daughter.
Oh, okay.
Because that was a little weird that my wife said, "Hi, Daddy." It's not too weird, but I like it a little bit. But anyway.
At least on the air.
On air, it's a little weird. But all right. So soul center. Let's get back to centering your soul.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Right.
10 o'clock.
Tomorrow, 10 o'clock. The best, it's on Facebook, the event, and I'm also going to be doing this on Zoom. So, but if you send me an email, Carolyn@greenleafhealing.com, I can hook you up. I can get you into the webinar. It's free. Okay. It's really going to be awesome. I'm really excited. But
Right, but I'm going to go back to the conversation you guys had. So if somebody's goal in life is to be miserable, then aren't they successful?
If that's what they want to do, then hey,
fair
they're
enough.
done.
Good point.
Boom.
Hey, that's a great point.
Done.
So I have a question. So an example. So would an example be if somebody that you would feel that kind of lost their path would be like a manager that will stay at the office, because in their past they used to stay at the office like 12 to 14 hours in a day, and then because they got used to that, then now they feel like everybody in the company should be there 12 to 14 hours a day. And when you take a personal day or a half a day, it's like the most judgy moment that you'll ever experience in your life.
Yes.
I love that.
Like that person has not has lost their balance. Yeah. Is that kind of like the type of person we're looking for?
I would say so. I mean, there are other things to do rather than working that many hours. I mean, yes, of course, in business, you put in the hard work, you put in the hours, but again, you need to always come back to, again, that soul-centered purpose is what is the real why that I'm doing this in the first place, and not to get off track. Yes, you want to be successful, but yes, you also need to make time for the rest of your life too, for what makes you happy.
So as a control freak, it took me many a year, Kent knows, to relinquish some of this control.
Okay.
And
I was along for the ride a little bit of it.
Hard.
Yeah, towards the end of it, I was along for the ride. Yeah.
So, being a business owner, you tend to be very controlling. Of course, this is your baby.
So how do you what advice would you give to somebody? Because now I feel like I'm kind of coming out of the thick of the woods of it. I've had my moments and now I'm good. I feel comfortable, but entering it, there's a lot of drinking and anxiety. What do you think? What better advice could you give to somebody?
So true.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Sorry, Kent. Did I lean in too hard on that microphone? Yeah, I leaned in quick on that.
What kind of advice would you give somebody? Baby steps to get them
Through
chugging along.
the woods, to literally hire somebody.
I've got a lot of different techniques to help people move through that, but it literally you have to kind of start leaning into the faith that within your own soul-centered purpose. When you're aligned, you all of a sudden feel the support of something much greater than you. There's something else. And when you start to trust your own instincts and this internal guidance, above what everybody else is telling you to do, then all of a sudden you start to just, you need to start to have faith in it. And that's something that people struggle with. And I've struggled with that too. It's to have faith in, this is the direction I need to go into, but then it's, that the judgments from the outer world, you have to find a way to go beyond that. And so I do have techniques to help people move beyond that and to just really, what's going on in here. And I say here because I always tell people it's in the heart space, because that is it's the bridge between, we have spiritual centers and then we have the physical centers. Right, the spiritual is from the throat up. I know.
Yeah. So you
and then the physical. This is.
So you have your book, right? Right. Hang on now. I don't want to dive into that too much, but for when you're talking about these things, I'm going, all right. Well, that's what does that mean? What's soul-centered purpose? I don't get it. What is that? What is this? What is that? How can
let's come back to this book.
I know. Okay? How can I understand what I want, right? Because essentially what you're saying is it's what I want, right? What does my personal, internal personal need, right? Or want, right? Or whatever it may be. But a lot of people are being governed by the outside world and being redirected.
And all that is coming.
Armchair quarterbacks.
Right?
Yeah.
All the outside stuff,
it's
all programming what's going on in your mind.
Well, everybody knows that I have no problem doing whatever the hell I want to do, right? I think I got in trouble a little bit ago a couple times for people, well, not in trouble, just people have called out. People have called out for me what I do and don't always like what I do in my personal path, right? However I'm going to take it. So to me,
Lily says very true.
So true. They all know that. So to me, in my mind, I'm following the path I want.
Okay.
Right? I want my path. Right? I don't care about so how do people know that they're following their path?
Probably
because
you're happy.
It's something. It is, but also.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is. It's moving into your wisdom. The heart space is where you're going to gain your wisdom. When you're up here in your head all the time, this is where people usually are. This is why the mind is really a program. Your brain is it's like a computer. It's a program.
But that's what I'm
saying.
It's
just inputting everything.
For me, some people could literally be operating in their headspace going, no, I'm following my heart.
Okay. That's if they're happy like that, that's fine. But if you know that something's still off, you want to go in the heart space. This is where your wisdom is. This is where your decision making needs to be, because here you begin to become more respectful of your needs and everyone else's needs too. You begin to understand that what you do is affecting everybody else.
So but how do people know to get out of their headspace? Right? That's what I'm asking is
because
how do they
they're
know?
Not happy, are they? They're making
what
mistakes.
If they think they're happy?
Okay.
If they think they're
enough.
happy, then
I'll give you an
fine.
example.
That's fine.
Okay.
When I first started Steph's Books, I was listening to a bunch of other people that already had established, I'm going to say perceived successful businesses, because I don't really know because I wasn't in their businesses.
Shoes.
Right. And so I was trying to do things as they were doing and trying to, fit that mold and be that person, like going to mixers, wearing business attire, doing my hair and makeup. That's not me. That's not me. I'm putting on this like facade going in. And then once I started dressing like me and talking like me, and my confidence went up, and then I was happier, and then my business was better.
We have a question from
the audience. I was going to use another story. Let's say that let's say you go to college, because that's what everybody says to do, and you get a degree, and then let's say you get a job in the insurance industry, and you're doing well, and you think you're okay, but there's just something missing. Right? There's an emptiness, maybe just a little bit like, yep, I'm successful. However, there's something I'm just not connecting with. So then let's say you and your wife decide to open a Restoration One franchise. That would be how you might know that you're not following your heart. Could be.
Because I opened a restoration company?
No, before. When you were very successful.
Because I was in insurance. I was in insurance.
I didn't know. That's interesting. But anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
No, I did know. But but there's always, no matter what you're doing, it always feels, if I'm understanding Carolyn, it always feels like there's just something that's off kilter.
That's true.
I could be happy, but at the same time, it's just...
that's true.
But you know that there's more. There's always... Everyone has a soul, and this is the bigger part of you that you start to get to know and connect to when you're focused here, not there for everything. That's not your first. When this is your first place to go, then everything starts to change, and you start to realize, you know what is making me is this really making me happy? Is this really
and that's my question is, some people to me don't understand that their job makes them miserable. How do they
every person's path is their path.
Okay.
And this is where, if you're here, you don't judge it.
I walked away from a great I walked away, and that's what I'm saying is I understand where I'm at and how I want to get to my goals, my life accomplishments, get my things done, right? I get that for myself. There's other people out there, though, that I look at and I know, and I go, what are you doing? You're miserable. Yeah. But they don't know that they don't know that they're miserable.
Because they don't stop long enough. They don't stop long enough to ask the question to themselves. Or sometimes they're afraid.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're afraid.
Somebody, my wife apparently said very true. And then Joe carries, what is that?
You carry the DWETFIW card.
What is that?
Do whatever. Take it from there.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. But then she says, Carolyn, what if your heart just wants to go fishing or garden?
Yeah. See, I'm the fishing and she's the garden. My wife's the
garden.
Well,
then you need to make sure that your business, your job allows time. You got to give yourself time for that, right?
That's a great point.
It's a balance. You know, you want, if you want financial success, if you want to have, lots of wonderful things for you and your family, there is that piece, but it doesn't have to be drudgery. But you also need to be able to let go of some of the control and delegate, invest in the right people. And here's the thing is when you are soul-centered, all of a sudden you're going to start to attract the right type of people who will be perfect in your business.
Filling the niches.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. And that are going to be aligned with the soul-centered purpose of you and what you're putting into your business. Because when a business owner is aligned with their soul purpose, their business is like a baby, right? It's your baby. You're feeding that baby all this wonderful stuff. Okay, so it's attracting.
As long as what centers you isn't like theft and bribery.
That's not soul-centered. You're not soul-centered there.
Well, because that could be my soul is theft and bribery.
You can hit him.
You can actually.
So I've got a question. So you deal. This is what you do, and I feel your passion, which is cool. A lot of entrepreneurs.
Cool.
Yeah, it is. A lot of entrepreneurs, though, are numbers people. It's got to make financial sense. It's got to, I've got to get a return on investment. And you're talking about this goofy soul space. How do you help thinkers, business thinkers, number thinkers, move from that to going, okay, I get it.
Yeah, because when you're soul-centered here, you are then in what I call like the Autobahn of information and possibilities. It goes like this versus what your mind is being fed and what blah, 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 okay? All of a sudden, when you're really soul-centered, you start to really open up to all these other creative ideas and possibilities and blah, 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 okay? And you start to really trust that guidance and you'll surprise yourself with the brilliance that you come up with, okay? And what happens is that you are opening to this abundance, okay, of who you are, and your knowledge base all of a sudden just gets huge. And all of these different ways of creatively solving these problems start to really just boom, boom, boom. And what happens is that you are opening yourself. So when you are, when you're talking, no, but let me finish this, okay?
Fine.
Okay. People who are really not soul-centered, they tend to be frustrated and tense. If you feel it in your, you're like this, it's the same thing as having your fist like this. Now, how can I give you $100 bill if your fist is like that? Okay. How can I give you all these great things when you're not open? When you begin to open yourself and your energy and all these possibilities, that's when abundance starts to find you. Okay. It becomes less effort too. So you can have time for fishing and gardening.
Well, that's gardening is Carrie. Fishing's me.
Okay. Gardening, fishing.
I don't know.
Starbucks.
Stuff does Starbucks.
I do love a Starbucks.
I do love a good and a scary movie with her child.
No.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch Hocus Pocus tonight.
So, number 2.
Yep.
Let's give a shout out for everybody out there listening. The first 10 people who email Carolyn at greenleafhealing.com with the word roadmap in the subject line will receive, listen to this, a free roadmap to soul mastery session. It's valued at $397. So that,
love this.
Again, she's giving away 10 of these. And that's a big chunk of change.
First 10, not just 10.
Right, the first 10.
The first 10.
Right. So, Joe, you can't do it 10 times in a row.
No.
Right?
No.
I can't?
No. So the first 10 people, 10 people who email Carolyn at CAROLYN at Greenleaf Healing, and I've got it spelled wrong in there, but it's
do you really? Yeah. You do?
Yeah, but it's just HEALING.
You got to redo that one, huh?
I will.
let's edit that guy.
I have a question.
Let me just clarify more. The roadmap to soul mastery session. This is where we get on the phone or a Zoom session, and we look at where you are, where you want to be, what's really getting in the way, and then I give you a roadmap to how to get to your goals fast.
That's awesome.
Okay, so
question.
So I think that might have answered my question, because like you keep saying like that everybody's journey is, kind of individual, and they're like what brings them joy is kind of an individual
what
thing.
brings you joy?
So
Steph?
then like what kind of like you'd have to ask like really broad questions or some sort to kind of
narrow it down,
get somebody's mind focused to start going down this path of discovery, right?
Right. I have specific questions I start to kind of get into your head about a little bit. Right. What I do is I ferret out what's really going on. And people keep pointing out this natural ability that I have. And this is something that happens when you have Soul Center Purpose and I'm going to refer back to my book, but
why don't you talk about the book? Because I have a very big question about that one.
What happens is that I form a soul-to-soul connection with everyone, any potential client, and every client that I see. I am on point, and people are like, how did you know? How did you get to that? I am able to cut through the BS, and I find what's really going on. And then I can go right in there, and I can help to point in this and that, and find some answers for them pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't know, like your career is very interesting to me, just because my career is very structured, because debits are credits are debits, everything balances. There's one way to do it. There's not like
put the budget here.
There's not a spider web of possibilities.
This is where I'm very talented, is that I can have this big, I mean, I've
do you ever get thrown off by somebody?
Usually not. No.
But do you ever get thrown off by somebody? Not, you said usually not, so that tells me that there's an occasion. I'm just asking.
I really don't remember being maybe in the earlier days, but now when I'm in session with somebody, I'm very grounded, and like I said, I'm very connected, and I'm also connected to their higher self, and let's say their guides and angels. So there's a team that I am. It's not about me. It's not about what knowledge that I have. I'm able to really connect to what exactly is it that this person needs. And then I'll go, there's a piece here. And then there's another piece, because I'm very well trained in many, many different areas of holistic health and healing and spirituality and all kinds of things.
And you mentioned that you've owned your website for 17 years. So that
at least
that begs the question, how long have you been doing this?
I have been... I have really been doing, I started with energy healing for the first couple of years, and then all of a sudden, and shamanic healing as well. And then all of a sudden I started to realize, wait a minute, it's more than just the physical ailments and the emotional stuff. Everything is right here in the mind. So this is where I knew that coaching had to be in the forefront, coaching and mindset, because it all starts right here. Even your illnesses and diseases start with what you believe is true. So how
long have you been doing it?
Oh, yes. So I've been really focusing on the coaching aspect for the last 15 years, I guess. 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
See?
Really moving in. And because that's when...
I was going to say, you have this book here, and I have a big question about this book.
From all the knowledge and everything that I've been studying and all of this, all these years, all those years, what I love to do is I love to take a walk in the forest, because nature really grounds me, and it really brings me, that's my happy place. So there I am walking with my dog, and all of a sudden I got this awareness that came to me and said, forget everything you learned.
Mm-hmm. I was name readings.
What? Just hang on. One thing at a time here.
Yeah, I get excited. Huh?
Yeah. So I'm like, what? That makes no sense. I have to unlearn everything that I learned. But at the same time, it made perfect sense. I knew exactly what that meant. And that is when the journey that came out, the information started to really open up and flow, because that was my time to go out into the desert, my desert time, where I had to let go of all the teachings, everything, all the direction of just like you. I had to stop doing what everybody else told me to do. And I had to find, who am I and what am I really here to do?
Hi, Mom. Mom's saying hi. Sorry, we have to
That's
say
my
hi.
mom.
We have to say hi to
Hi.
Linda.
Second time she's been on.
She travels safely.
Sorry, Scott's not here. Don't worry.
Yeah. Continue on. Sorry, Carolyn. We
So-
always have to do our traditional show.
As I was getting all this information, I'm like, oh my God, this is, whoa, this is great. I mean, literally, I was at my computer constantly going, my gosh, these are going to be great classes. And then all of a sudden, one day I looked, I'm like, this is a book. This is a book. And
so
then
you wrote the book.
So I wrote the book, and then all of a sudden the word Eden started to appear to me. And I'm like, why am I saying the word Eden all the time? Because usually people think of Eden as it's something religious,
That was my question.
Yeah,
And I got a big
I'm
question
like,
about that.
I'm like, this book and this information has nothing to do with religion. In fact, it's kind of the opposite, because it's about connecting to your true soul, has nothing to do with anybody's interpretation or dogma or anything like that. So I kept asking because I kept seeing it in different ways. And then and this ties into the name ratings that you just found, is that one evening I was there laying in bed, and then all of a sudden the word Eden appeared to me, and it started to move. And the E opened up.
Sounds like you're on some good drugs.
I was not. This is a natural high.
Not yet.
When you're connected, you're in a natural high.
All right.
So the E opened up, and it revealed that was the beginning of humanity's journey into the world of duality. D represents the dualistic reality that people, there's a lot more to it, but
I was going to say,
and then we go back
for people
to the
pay
E.
for.
I know, and then the end. So it revealed the story of humanity, why they are on this dualistic type of reality. So then I realized, I'm like, wait a minute, I can do that with people's names, because we're all a story.
But do we have to write it for you, or do you just?
Oh no, we're not doing name rings today.
I was going to say,
You
I don't want my name
No,
read,
no.
because
I
I'm
do.
going
I
to get in
love
trouble
that.
probably.
Yeah.
But
I think that's awesome.
my question,
Yeah,
so I
it's-
literally look at this book, and
Okay.
and I look at this book and I go, that's
Yeah.
very religious.
Yes.
So
But it's
there's
not.
a man
The
and
reason-
a woman holding hands, looking
Right.
up at a tree. It's called
Because-
Eden. I go, this is so religious.
Yes.
I don't want to read it.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you for the input.
Well,
I had to go with what was coming. What was
I get it.
the basis in the book. The man and the woman represent the masculine and feminine within the self, the balance that needs to be within the
human
self.
beings. Go ahead.
So just to help some people out who might be listening out there,
But not watching.
if I were to just define Eden, it is a place of pristine or abundant natural beauty.
Oh, that's lovely. Hang on. Let me get this book
Yeah.
up in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing: it's called re-entering Eden.
Right.
Right.
But guess
Right.
what? What is Eden?
I don't
Eden.
know, a garden.
Eden
But-
is wait. Let me finish this.
Okay.
Eden is the paradise that we're all looking for,
Mm-hmm.
but it is within you.
Mm.
You are Eden.
It just has
It's always
such a,
been
it just has
within
such a
you.
religious, and this is my question, has
I know,
such a religious tie to it that I'm like,
I think
ugh.
that's you though. I was concerned about
You're right.
that.
I was raised
but I had to
Catholic.
go.
I was
I
raised
was
Catholic.
too.
I was confirmed. That's how I got
Mhm.
my nickname Rumwald. He's my saint.
Wow. Okay.
Never heard of him, have you?
Nope.
Nope. Nobody has. Looked him up. He was born on Halloween, died 3 days later.
Wow.
I know. Was a saint after being born, lived for 3 days. Anyway, very religious, and due to my religious experience, I'm not religious anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at things and I go, this is tough for me to pick up and want to read because it seems very religious. And so as a person that may have a business and be walking down that route of, ooh, do I want to go and get myself help? Yeah, I do, but do I want to walk down the religious path, or is it a religious path?
It's not a religious path. It is the opposite.
Right. So that's what I want to make sure that everybody understands is how not much it's a religious
No, this is about you finding you. And this is the part where, where you're this outer world it's very manipulative. Consciously and unconsciously, it can be very there's something in place. This is something that I realized from the perspective of your soul, you begin to see the bigger picture of things, and you can see how people are being manipulated into more separation from self, more division from each other, more.
Meaning you're talking many literally ways. Like we drive down the road and see 12 billboards, and we're immediately being pulled from because that billboard has a literally a sign that says, come by McDonald's, come by this, come by that, or whatever it may be. That is manipulation. But literally too. You're being pulled away, and it's a bunch of exterior noise.
Because people are used to going this way outside of themselves. They're used to that. Their mind is wired for that. And so they're just following. That's part of it too. Yeah, absolutely.
That's a good point.
But when you start to see through all that BS. And you see what's really going on. And you start to look at the news and what's going on. You're like, wherever there is division, even though each side thinks that they're right, when you are looking at from the soul center position, there are no sides. Yeah. Everything is connected. We're all supposed to be one happy family, right?
Happy, crappy family, isn't that what you call it?
Yep.
However you determine that. But the thing is that you affect one another. Right. Is that what you do is affecting someone else. When you are passing judgment on someone because of their religion or their political views or whatever, and I'm not saying one is right or wrong, it's about dropping the damn judgments and just honoring everybody's on their own path. Everybody is, and that type of thing. So you start to look at it that way. Okay, there's one piece of many pieces, but
so as a business owner, like just to kind of drill back into that a little bit more, what are like your top, I don't know, we'll say 3 things that a person should look at where they could maybe take a step back and be like, you know what, this path or what I'm doing isn't necessarily the healthiest for me. Like, for example, my previous career, I was so stressed out and so not with it that like a bunch of my hair fell out from stress. So like, obviously that was a sign, like a red flag for me.
A health issue that said
take a step back and be like, hey, so what would be like 3 maybe not so severe warning signs that people could look at,
not
obviously
so
not
severe.
But I'm just saying like things where people could start to kind of be like, what, maybe I need help in the aspect of maybe I need help like getting a nanny for the kids because I don't have enough money in my job yet to hire somebody, but like household wise, there's enough money that makes financial sense to get a part-time nanny, or I need an assistant, or, whatever, like these things kind of come up. Like when should people start kind of looking?
When you start to feel that frustration building, when you start to feel that tenseness in your body, and a lot of people are not.
But how often? Because I can feel the tenseness once a month.
Okay.
Once every 2 months.
It's about
once a week.
Tuning into it and seeing where's this coming from. Where's this really coming from?
Frequency. I need a no, but I don't know where it's coming from.
That's where when you start to tune in. I know.
I'm not focused on myself. I'm focused on my business.
I mean, like for me, a key indicator for me.
That's the point. Is that you have to come back to you. Your body is telling you what is off, what is not off.
Yeah, well, even if it's not my body,
this is your instincts. It's your, if you tune into that tenseness and you start to, because your body will communicate to you. Seriously.
Well, totally. But
I mean, like if I came home and Eli threatened to throw my computer away, that's my 6-year-old, then I know that I am on my computer too much at home and I'm taking too much work home and it's affecting his time.
But that's what I'm saying, though. That's not your body telling you.
Well, no, I'm just saying that there's other things. There's outside things.
There's always going to be a sign.
There's always that will make me step back and be like, oh shit, like for me, like my time with my boys is my everything. So like if I'm not giving them the quality time that they're wanting or expect, and they say it to me, I will immediately take a step back.
We have a question from the audience.
Good.
So, Carolyn,
Yes.
just human beings have a tendency to put things off until it's too late, right? We don't go to the doctor until, oh my gosh, what is this growth on the side of my neck that's the size of a softball? You know, when it was the size of a ping pong ball, we might have wanted to go, huh? When there was pain,
Tussin.
You know, we might have wanted to say, huh, this isn't
some
right.
index on it.
So as Joe's trying to say, listen, here's another thing that people say. Oh, I'm aging. My bones ache because your bones shouldn't ache.
Right.
That's your body saying there's something wrong.
Yes, correct.
My
Absolutely.
wife tells me that all the time.
Absolutely.
Like, literally, my
Absolutely.
body
Yes.
is 24/7. Yeah.
And when you start to tune in and you figure it out, what is this that is causing my bones to ache, my hair to fall out, my whatever this is, the pain in my back, what is this really? And you can, and again, when you're soul centered, you can tune in and you can get the answers, and then you can start to transform that. So what I also learned is how to, the roadblocks that we come up against, how to literally transform them.
Which the roadblocks you're talking, like literally, like
your
I want to go and do
frustration.
this, but I'm afraid that I can't let go of the work because my employees aren't going to be able to do it as
I
well
look
as I
at
can, right?
what exactly is that fear connected to? What else is that connected to?
Right.
So I root out the cause
You're
effect.
borderline psychologist.
Yeah, I kind of am.
I don't say that out loud.
No.
Right.
I didn't say that.
We had a question
but
from the audience.
I have to say,
but
I have had
borderline,
clients.
I've
had clients and students come to me because their therapist didn't help them.
Yeah.
Where I'm able to go outside of the box and I can go in all these different directions.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I'm fine. No, you're saying to them, don't worry, I'm good. I'm fine as your psychologist. Don't worry, I'm not your psychologist. I'm fine. I got you. We're gonna go through this.
He's not fine.
I'm not fine.
Oh,
So
okay.
So what you're saying is, if I'm that business owner who says, okay, Steph, I need you to do this. Watch out, I'll just get it done myself. That's an issue, right?
And before we run out of time, I just want to make sure that I have this one question for us, is that literally we all go, and this was the one thing I brought to you. We're literally walking through like go to slow. So many people have that drive and then they stop. And how do they turn that off? Or as I said to you before the show, like last week, was how do you redirect it? Or how do you find something else, right? I want to make sure we go into that because that's such a big thing to the show is once you're done.
First of all, I would say what's really going on? Are you just exhausted and you're burnt out, even though you've started something that you really love? Because if it's something that you really love deep down, then, first I figure out what's really going on here. Why aren't you feeling this passion anymore? And then once we figure that out, sometimes you all of a sudden you fall in love with the original reason that you started to do this. And then it starts to expand in ways that you didn't allow it before. Now, other times, if this really is not the right path for you, okay, you'll feel that, and then I have a lot of different tools and techniques to help you to really kind of hone in on what is the better path for you. There's guidance, but there's also a reconnecting. I help you to reconnect to those answers within yourself. So literally, you are the one with answers. I don't have anyone's answers. I have no one's answers.
You're just asking questions to get the answers.
Right, because everyone has their answers, but they have to be triggered. I have to find the trigger with the right question.
Yeah, love that.
And diving into some of those emotions or some of this or that, because I get information from that, and so does the client. They start to see things in a whole different way.
Do you, Steph, do you feel you have any unfathomed desires that you want out of your business?
What do you mean? What? What did you just say to me, Joe?
when you go and attack your business, and here you are, you're doing it, you're growing it. What are you trying to get out of your business that you want? Do you have things that you want to go for? Because I know what I want to go for.
I want to be $1 million firm and go into the QuickBooks and $1 Million Room.
Boom.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, that's
you mentioned that to me before. That is end all be all. That's my
the
goal.
goal. And then
when you get to that goal, I was gonna say when you get to that goal, what's next?
I don't know.
You don't know.
We'll figure it out. I need to focus.
Do they have a $5 million goal?
No, they don't have it's just like $1 million and up firm room, and I just want to go in there and see what it is. And I have a feeling it's going to be bullshit, but I want it.
You're literally going to go in and get like a goddamn Jimmy John sandwich. And be so pissed off.
No, I feel like
years.
That would be like a big accomplishment considering that we don't offer, our primary business is not tax services. So to be able to grow a bookkeeping firm to that level is
you're going to walk in as the bookkeeping big dick.
That's the plan.
Okay. So you do that. When you're done with that, what are you doing next?
I don't know. I told Rich that probably once I get Steph's books comfortable and stabilized, then I'm probably going to open up another business and start over from ground zero. Like, I'm not going to sell Steph's books because I'll have that operating and I'll have a manager in place and that will be, I'll be kind of taking it to where I feel like I'm good. And then I'm going to open something else and do something else.
Love that.
So
you have said, love said businesses.
Yeah. I don't want
do you feel like doctor, do you feel that's okay?
You want to love what you're doing. Absolutely. But you also need to always question your check, and your kids are perfect because they're like, Mom, you're off balance. Boom. We're going to let you know about it.
No, they really don't. They don't.
But you need, as you are, loving what you're doing and everything, you have to really check in too. Is this costing, is there something negative? Am I, all of a sudden my health is my hair is falling out or is something going on? Is my stress level getting just way too high? Am I becoming too much of a control freak?
Yeah. Well, there were a couple
and
times
then you need to check,
year.
always keep yourself in check and say, what do I need to do to be in balance? Because I think you want to have a life that you love too, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like being busy. So it doesn't I want 3 separate revenue streams before I am 50 that are not dependent on each other's success.
I love that. So you're looking at your portfolio.
Right. Well, one thing I want to do is get a purple food truck and convert it into just a margarita truck and sell margaritas on the weekend.
Like the ice cream truck.
Yeah, but margaritas.
Shut the front door. Are you
but
going
it
to
has
drive
to be
through
a purple
neighborhoods?
Truck. Yeah. That's what I want to do.
Just okay, so wait. Hang on now. So
it's completely opposite of bookkeeping.
But you literally have a business plan that's set up where you know what you want to do for businesses, whatever it may be, however you want to do it. Mm-hmm. It's not just one thing. I love that. How do you feel? Because as Carolyn mentioned, you get checked or gut checked by your kids, right? But there was a time when you literally looked at me and was like, "Hey, I need a timeout. Just in my life is going crazy. I need a timeout." And I'm like, "Dude, go right!" Like that was awesome because you knew that you had that time where you're just like, "I feel it. Mm-hmm. I feel it real well." Mm-hmm. Right? I don't get that feeling. I like I don't get that feeling of like things are too much. I just hit the ground and I'm like done. And then I wake up the next day and I go, all right, well, welcome. You're back on the train.
You're not listening to your body.
It's because you sleep with headphones on with loud music and you can't hear
rap music. It's rap music.
Everyone is wired differently too. Some people are just
differently.
So there's not a one size fits all. So that's what I'm asking. That is part of, and when clients work with me, I also do this profile too. I mean, I literally have tools.
Is it like a disc profile? Like, the disc?
No.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know. I was like, I got to find an 8-track tape and I'm going to give it to you.
Because I mentioned disc profiles?
Yeah. because I do have CD discs that have I create a complement to our companion to my book that has the exercises and meditations and all of that, and I put them in a disc because that's my age range. Okay, I pulled it out and he started teasing me
So
about
Joe, a listener texts in and says that her book. Thanks for judging a book by its cover. First of all, they said, and they go, "What if people judge the business by you and your cover?"
Fair enough. I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that. They got a lot to judge. There's a lot of judgment out here on me. I'm see,
Thanks,
and that's
Lily.
why I want to. That's why I want to present to the author is, hey, what is this book about? Right? Like, I don't want to look at this book and go.
The first off is that in the very beginning, I do explain that this has nothing to do with religion.
With religion, right?
But,
and I did not open the book up and start to read the
I know
my personal experience. But I'm going to go ahead.
So in your website as well, you also talk about energy healing. Is that a Reiki thing or what is?
Right, I'm a Reiki master, healer,
cool.
teacher, but as with anyone who is trained in energy healing. And if that practitioner is really connected, that's that ability to do energy healing becomes much more expanded. So I'm not just a Reiki master teacher. I'm an intuitive energy healer as well, and I incorporate that within my session work. So wherever there is an issue that someone needs help with,
that's cool.
That helps to remove.
For somebody who goes and then they just fall on their face, that energy healing might be a good way to go as well.
Would it?
It could be.
Or is it more soul and spirit that needs to be healed?
It all depends.
I would. You should do some sessions with her. Bring her back and tell us.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You be the guinea pig, Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'm in. Are you?
Or
in
you know what?
for
You
this?
could also do
Hey, is this paid by the station?
Maybe.
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 As long as it's paid by the station, I'll be a guinny pig for whatever you guys want.
I would too.
I mean, when the first, like I said, I create this profile, and it really kind of maps out your tendencies, your natural tendencies. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just understanding. Whoa, that's why I do this, and that's why I do that. But if you see it as something negative, then you're on the flip side of it. Because we're in a dualistic reality. Everything's upside down and backwards. So if you flip it around, you see what the positive attributes of it are, and you start to say, I like myself again.
Yeah, I love myself. Well, I really, truly love myself.
Good.
And my wife will say the same thing,
That's
that
good.
I love myself. But how often do you walk through these paths, and do people truly can somebody read a book and go, I got it? Or do they need to walk through the path and go through that healing and that spiritual?
It depends on where someone is on their path. You can
much they know about themselves.
Yes, you can get the book. That may be enough. I also have a complete course series, the Eden series, that's also available online. You can do the series as well. But a lot of people, if they really seriously want to just get moving fast and really get everything in order, having a coach, such as myself, what I do is I am walking with you side by side. I am that supportive guide that does not judge, but I know exactly where you want to be, and I literally walk through the fire with you, and I call you on anything that you're not seeing. Like I call you on the BS.
See, I would be good
help
at that.
You to.
I'd be good at that. I just wouldn't. I'd be the worst coach in the sense that I would not care what I said to you, and try to That'd be okay. I wouldn't.
As long as you are serious. I mean, if you are okay, nope. if you're not a serious client, then I wouldn't even work with you.
Oh,
but
well,
I'm serious. Then I want the person to be very honest.
How do I know I'm serious?
What?
What do you mean?
Well, I'm just asking, what if I'm walking in going oh, well, yeah, I feel this way and this way, but I really may not. I don't know. What if I don't know?
I mean, for me, it's difficult to do sessions like that, because I walk in and I'm immediately like my whole thing, like I'm defensive immediately,
skeptical and
and I know
right?
that
Like
about myself.
That's
Here's
It's
the
not
thing.
about
what I'm
like
saying,
skeptical.
A
I'm
client
just
is
defensive.
ready.
Like I feel like
The clients that I want to see are the clients who are ready for change, and they're like, you know what, I've tried this and that, and it's just
How
not.
do I know I'm ready? Well,
Obviously,
I'm serious
you're
though.
not ready,
Like,
Joe. That's all I got to say.
like I
clearly,
That's all I got to say, you know.
clearly.
you could be waking up just like getting like just being angry getting out of bed every day. Like that's a sign that
That's
you need
a
a
sign.
change.
That's a sign.
Like
So-
that's a big
It's
sign, an
definitely a
easy
sign.
sign.
Yeah, when the student's
Okay.
ready, the
And when-
teacher shows up.
And yes,
Oh, right.
absolutely.
Okay.
And when your spouse or your friends are starting to distance themselves from you, or you know your relationships are really hitting the rocks,
Yeah.
there's something wrong. Something's going
No,
on.
is
Yeah.
as defensive as you both are, whatever you want to say. There's somebody out. You believe in what she does, and there's one of your hundreds of thousands of listeners out there who may need right. So
Right.
that's why you have her on, because you know that she does a good job and can help people go from that go to saying, okay.
Well, and
Give
that's
some away.
truly
Right.
it. Where we're at is
Yeah.
like, that's what I want to make sure is people look at themselves and go, oh, I know I need this help. I know I'm going from, right? Like you and I were talking just earlier this week about literally taking from that. Here I am managing my company, managing my business. My entire job is based, my entire life is based on running this company. And now I just hired somebody. I'm doing what I need to do, hiring the right people. Here I am, hire.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at your life and you're looking back at your day to day or your week to week, and you look at it and go, well, shit. Everybody's running things that need to run things, and here I am trying to micromanage, right, my dogs or my children because I have nothing else to manage.
Okay.
Right?
So you've kind of lost touch with how to really absorb yourself in the rest of your life.
What is my or
because you're so absorbed in your business that now you're micromanaging.
And a lot of
right?
people are. Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So
not me.
But okay.
I can easily
okay.
go fishing.
It's about when you become soul-centered, you begin to really appreciate everything in your life.
Uh-huh.
You really enjoy life and the things that the other things, and like your kids, your spouse, cooking, fishing,
going to your
doing
orchard,
these wonderful
right? Whatever
things.
it may be. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Or starting a new project.
Yeah, you ever been someplace and you looking like, man, she's got it put together. You're right. I mean, you just sense that aura. You see that energy from that person, and you're like, man, they got it. I don't know what they do. I don't know who they are, but the vibe they're giving off is like, they got this.
They got rolling. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's where you help people get is to that place.
Right.
So
right. Absolutely.
So that you're not trying to grab $100 with a closed fist.
I'm not constantly. Well, not only that, but I'm not constantly chasing the carrot in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm literally going, hey, I'm going to dangle the carrot in front of somebody else and let them chase it and let them pull me along.
That's
is
not
that
carrot. But listen, I before we get off the air, I want to give a couple of quick things for Carolyn here. So the first 10 people who email Carolyn at greenleafhealing.com with the word roadmap in the subject line will receive a free roadmap to soul mastery session. It's a value of $397. So feel free, reach out to her at Carolyn at greenleafhealing.com. If you put in the word 7 keys in the subject line, Carolyn, and again, email, but if you put in that in the subject line, you will receive a free PDF of 7 keys to intentionally creating true abundance in your relationships and business. Just put 7 keys in the subject line there. And tomorrow at 10 a.m., you're doing a session. Right, Carolyn? Tomorrow at 10.
Yes, it's a webinar.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's a free webinar. But if you, again, reach out to Carolyn at Greenleaf Healing, she can send you the link, help you get registered for that. And it's going to be a good seminar. right?
Yes. I'm really excited about that. Absolutely.
Let's go to the first 10 people that email her roadmap in the subject line.
Yeah.
Come on.
I did.
Let's see them file in. I just told her to pull up her email. I'm checking to see if people have been emailing her.
For dollars.
How many we've gotten out. Yeah, that's a good value. So anybody that wants to just have a good understanding of how to get to where they want to be personally, this is a good one. So.
You know, and also in their business. I mean, this is really, it's about your personal goals and also your business goals, because you can increase the abundance in your business. And create more joy in your relationships.
Your business wraps,
and that's really what it's all about.
Your business is truly a reflection of your personal.
Absolutely.
So it is what it is.
Like when you become more abundant within, then all of a sudden the world everything starts to flow to you. It's an easier flow. It's not filled with frustration.
Listen, that's going to do it for us in this adventure of In the Know with Steph and Joe. Carolyn, thanks so much for stopping by. Check her out at www.greenleafhealing.com and come back at 8 on Friday are the Dream Home Experts. So until then, folks, tomorrow stop out at the Business Expo in Crystal Lake at the Three Oaks Center. If you are new to Crystal Lake, you're going to find a bunch of old businesses there. If you're old to Crystal Lake, you'll find a bunch of new businesses there, but a great Business Expo tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop by. It's free, and love life. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.